welcome to episode 78 of What If Civilization Started Over. Let's get into it. So, last episode, many things happened, like the giant war in the Americas and the Mediterranean Empire imperializing. So, let's get into it. So, the Mediterranean Empire has been pretty expansive recently, and it's been a couple years since the since this thing became an empire. And this thing is going to form a new organization. The Council of States is formed by the Mediterranean Union as something to unite the entire world under one thing. It's something to unite the world better than the Organization of Nations or the International States of the World. And countries are going to be joining it, like all of these Triangle Alliance members here, and also some countries are skeptical about it, like European countries specifically. But some countries in the Arabian Peninsula are going to be joining it. Yeah. And so far the CS map looks like this. Now it's time to go over to Asia because some events are happening. China is going to be attacking a nation. This red nation here. China is going to be sending their special forces into this red nation in order to, take it out of this whole organization. No, just to, control it. And when they take the capital, their invasion goes pretty quickly, as they will be taking the capital, and the red country will be forced to surrender. Let's look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty. So China fully annexes this country. Now it's time to go down to Papua New Guinea because Papua New Guinea is having a lot of issues. So far, the Papua New Guinea or this whole giant Indonesian empire, it formed after Myanmar, which I'm pretty sure is you, kind of collapsed, and then you eventually took over all of Indonesia and all this. But now you're having rebellion, specifically up in these areas, as Taiwan is going to be rebelling away from the Papua New Guineans, and so with these isles. And all this area does is rebel. And then China will go in and take all of these areas, and this will cause the Papua New Guineans to declare war on China. Papua New Guinea will quickly go ahead and retake Taiwan, and also this island here. And then a second rebellion pops up over in this area, as an Indo-Chinese rebellion pops up, or Cambodia, and Papua New Guinea doesn't really worry too much about this area. They are a democratic country, and who knows what could happen. And, things aren't going too well for them, as another rebellion pops up over in this island. And, these rebellions are all dictatorships. Every single one of these rebellions has a dictatorship installed. Yeah. Who knows who may or may not could, maybe I have a feeling that you might have had something to do with it. Just a slight feeling. And, the next rebellion pops up, and it is going to be in the island of Sumatra, as this island is taken, and eventually this rebellion here, which is not communist, is going to do that. And, because of this, China is going to be pushing back and invading the Philippines. And when they invade the Philippines, they will be doing their operation and taking the entire isles. It's looking too good for Papua New Guinea currently, until the Red Country decides to make an invasion of Papua New Guinea. And when this happens, the Papua New Guineans, who have a very messed up and very bad government set up, are going to not even appreciate this at all, as their islands out here have started rebelling away from the Papua New Guinean Empire, and eventually, it reaches the main island, and then a huge rebellion happens on the island of Java. Papua New Guinea loses it, which is their biggest loss so far. And Then next the Purple Rebellion comes and takes a bunch of islands, and Papua New Guinea is pushed back to this. So the Red Country is eventually going to take the capital, and eventually Papua New Guinea is going to fall, and we can look at a peace treaty. Let's look at the peace treaty of Papua New Guinea. This is the peace treaty. So China will be annexing a bunch of areas here, and new countries form. And the capitals of these countries, this one will be here, this one will be here, this one will be here. The Java one will be here, this one will be here. Red one already has one, and yeah, here. And now one of the oldest countries in the world has just collapsed. And then Papua New Guinea gets a dictatorship installed. And the Papua New Guinea Empire has just collapsed. Yeah, that's something. As now one of the previously strongest countries in the world is now well, not strong at all. Next event that will be happening is in India, where unification is happening. These three countries will be unifying into one Indian republic. An Indian republic with one capital, and that capital is right here, in the middle of the country. So far, a lot of stuff has happened in this area. It's time to go to Africa, because this alliance is collapsing. What we mean by this alliance is the Star Alliance, and one of the most unified areas in the world is having a civil war. Yeah. Maybe not a civil war, but just countries are leaving. Wrong layer. If I can find the layer, there's the whole new layer. They leave. And then eventually this entire line just collapses. What happened to your capital? Oh yeah, I reset the map to plop it there. But this country here, one of the most historical countries in the world, is having civil war. Specifically, up here, in one of the most historical areas of history. Specifically, World War One, pre-World War One history. Because Yemen rebels away from this country, and the Yemeni rebellion is successful. Mazda will be taking over all of this area, and then it will start its invasion of this country, specifically the Altan country, as Alta is threatened greatly. And then this will spark more rebellions, specifically in the Ugandan area. As Uganda is going to be rebelling away from this country. In this country, all of these, just like Papua New Guinea, are dictatorships. As dictatorships will be continuing to rebel away from the country. Eventually, well, this is not a very nice civil war for this country. And eventually, Alta is taken. And this country is going to be forced into surrender. One of the oldest one of the most historical countries in recent history has been taken out of the map. Let's look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty. As the capitals of these nations will be in these respective places, and the most important one of all, Yemen has resurfaced itself on the Wixel map. Yemen is back. After falling in World War One, it is finally back on the map after decades of being lost. And one of the most historical countries in recent history has been revoked back to a small area. And well, Yemen is just kind of going to be kind of crazy. Who knows though? Time to update the map of the CS. Yemen will be joining the CS, and so will India, and also a bunch of these new countries over here will be joining the CS, also known as the Council of States. As the Council of States will be gaining many new members. And well, yeah, totally nothing in a pattern about these members, as a couple African nations will also be joining the CS. Yeah. Time to talk about another country. Well, remember those weapons I mentioned at the end of last episode? Well, we're about to see those in effect with this new Mediterranean country. Empire. as the Mediterranean Union will be invading this country. They aren't using the weapons because nobody knows about them. And then try to guess the peace. Wait, what? Oh yeah, they're very similar colors. The peace treaty for this. And if you can't tell the difference, yeah, let's just color it. Let's just color it gray. Yeah, let's just yeah, maybe yeah. And the Mediterranean Union will be absolutely destroying this country. You can't even see it, can't you? Yeah, let's just color it gray so it's actually able to be seen. The Mediterranean Union and Mediterranean Empire is going to be invading this country, and they use their weapons. These weapons are like nuclear, like a reinvented version, more powerful version of nuclear bombs, as they go over and sweep the country over. And the peace treaty makes this place uninhabitable. There is white on this map once again. The Mediterranean Union has made part of this map uninhabitable. And now this scales the world. The world is worried of what's about to happen. You have the power, they have the power to destroy an entire country and basically, actually literally vaporize it from existence. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. This is literally uninhabitable. And well, yeah, this and people are scared. Specifically, all of Europe is worried for this. They're especially worried about what's maybe going on here. Yeah, who knows what could happen? And well, that is going to make more and more countries want to join Ukraine's alliance. Ukraine's alliance is slowly getting more and more popular over time, as many countries outside of Europe will be joining the alliance for the purpose of protection. They want to be protected against this massive threat known as the Mediterranean Empire. As the empire. Wait, is this the right shape? Yeah. As the Mediterranean Empire is going to be, surrounded. As the only nations that are on their borders that aren't in this alliance are parts or are in their organization. And I don't think you'd want to invade a country in your organization. And well, this alliance is getting more and more popular over time, with Ukraine being the leader. If I can get the bubble. There. Now it's actually time to do power rankings, something we haven't done in a while. And I will be changing this font size to 50. There. So the strongest country in the world is the Mediterranean. Oh my goodness! The Mediterranean Empire. Strongest country in the world. Second strongest country in the world is the Mexican Union. The third strongest country in the world. Third strongest country is Brazil. Fourth strongest country is I will say fourth strongest. Actually, let's put Brazil up. No, third strongest country is Ukraine, and actually, fourth strongest is not Brazil, but it's actually South Africa. Fifth strongest country in the world is now Brazil. The sixth strongest country in the world is Quebec. Seventh strongest country in the world is Persia. Eighth is China. There. Ninth is now, even though they're new, India. And the 10th strongest country in the world, I'm not sure what to say, but I will give the 10th strongest country in the world position to, I would give it to Yemen. Yeah, and those are the top 10 power rankings of this world. yeah. And that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over. See you in the next episode, and bye!